When's the last time you've seen me smile on this channel? When's the last time you've seen that? When? Because I don't remember. Maybe the playoffs last year? And that's about it. But what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another live stream here on Ranger Central, and I apologize for going live late. I know that I was sleeping, I was in Twitter Spaces, whatever, so I do apologize for going live very late on the news. And I also was waiting to see if maybe a trade would happen, to be honest with you, just so I had a little bit to talk about. I was thinking about waiting for 2 p.m. just to wait to see if he goes on waivers, but I figured, you know what difference does it make? Let's talk about it now. Leave a like on your way in, subscribe, all that other stuff, as we got news this morning that the New York Rangers could be parting ways with Jacob Trouba, whether they are going to put him on waivers and a team will claim him, or he is going to be traded to a destination that he wants to. I am so happy. This is a cause for celebration, because how much has this guy been a pain in the ass for the team? Go on down to the minor leagues for all I care. Go on down to Buffalo, Detroit, Ottawa. Don't give a shit. Cannot wait for this guy to be gone. The guy is a clown. Oh, I'm not holding back one bit about how happy I am with this. And again, I apologize for going live very, very late on this one, because I was sleeping and I wake up to like 50 notifications in the group chat I'm in with friends of the show, of course, Matt, who's in the chat right now, Nico, Nick, his brother Joe, and then Carson from Mets Weekly. I wake up to like 50 notifications in the chat, and I thought for sure Juan Soto signed. I'm like, don't tell me I missed Juan Soto signing, which thankfully it didn't happen, because now I learned my lesson. I'm going to be going to bed late and waking up early. I do not care if I'm sacrificing sleep. I want to know the second Soto signs, especially because that could be tomorrow. I mean, it's pointing in that direction, but that's baseball related. So I thought initially, okay, it's Juan Soto, Mets news. What could it be? And I scroll up and I'm just like, what are they yapping about? And I scroll up and up and up. And then I see the tweet sent about Jacob Trouba, and I spring out of my bed, pause, all excited, all happy, all giddy about the fact that Jacob Trouba is about to be gone. I go on Twitter and I go on a warpath, and I can tell you right now, I am going to be so obnoxious the second that he is traded or the second that he is put on waivers, because I'm just so happy right now. This means something, because I've been saying for years, the guy's a clown. The guy needs to go. Every team, every fan base looks at this guy as a joke of a captain. And that's other fan bases. When they named him captain, I was livid. To the point where people were so pissed off with my reaction, I ended up taking down that live stream with how pissed everyone got. If I still have it privated somewhere, maybe I'll re-upload it, because maybe now it would be appreciated. But I was saying then, you cannot name this guy the captain. How are you naming a guy who's making $8 million, who's terrible at the sport, by the way, captain? How are you naming a guy who forced his way out of Winnipeg, came over here as his preferred destination, and pinched every penny out of the Rangers, and again, within his right, but to the point where, why does he have this much of a say on his contract when he's an RFA, and the Rangers should be able to have some sort of say? Why was he able to get this much leeway to the point where he got full trade protection for a while, to the point where he made $8 million? And I go, all right, well, I guess it is what it is. It's going to be an ugly contract, but it can't be that bad, right? Then you start to see the play spiral and spiral each year, and it gets to the point where, how is this guy on the team? They double it down by naming him captain, which it was stupid to name a captain to begin with in that scenario after an Eastern Conference Finals run where Igor clearly was the catalyst in that team making it. So they doubled down on this whole bullshit with Trouba. And then we fast forward further, and again, the play continues to decline and decline and decline from Trouba. And now he looks unplayable. Got to the point where he looked unplayable. And then this offseason, the summer, used the Rangers so much every which way. And I'm tired of people feeling bad for the guy. Why are we feeling sorry for him? The guy has screwed this organization at every which turn. He's developed a culture that is soft. We even heard reports lately that he's been involved in the GM decisions and the roster decisions. Well, they haven't got over the hump. That falls partially on you. Why are you still here? And he should have been stripped of the captaincy after last year. But we get to the summer, and this is where it all turned entirely into a shit show, where the Rangers were going to trade him, and then the reports started to leak, and then Jacob Trouba decides to leak from his camp, I won't report to any team that trades for me. Even teams that aren't on his no-trade list, he wouldn't have reported. Who's going to trade for him then? And Chris Drury said, you know what? Fine, I feel bad for you. And because apparently the guy's the only player in the NHL with a wife and family, give me a break with that bullshit. Like, give me a break with that. I'm so tired of hearing about that. Rick Nash got traded in the middle of the season. Nobody felt sorry for him. Mika Zibanejad, his wife lived overseas for a good part of his career. Nobody talks about that. Alex Wenberg, when he got traded here, his wife was basically in labor. Nobody talks about that. Nobody feels sorry for her. Why is Jacob Trouba? And again, I have nothing against his wife. Go for your career. But if it means that much to Trouba, then take a seat, go on LTIR, or go on a leave of absence and say, hey, you know what? Once my wife's residency is done, I'll get traded. If it's that important to you, then don't play, because it caused a headache with the organization. It restricted them from making moves in the summer. And Chris Drury, this falls on him still too. This should have been done during the summer, because all it did, and I said it, I stood by it through the entire summer, and a lot of people did not want to listen when I said this cannot be brushed under the rug. This is going to cause problems in the locker room. You can't go into a season where you tried to trade your trading your captain. That was a little bit of a tongue twister. You tried trading your captain, and you didn't. You failed to. You can't go into that with him still wearing the C. I said at the very least, strip him of the captaincy. And they didn't do it. He looks checked out, and now we're here. And man, I would have been so livid if we went these 3 days off without nothing happening. And we were right there. We were so close to nothing happening during this layoff, this 3-day layoff. And I was going to lose my mind because something had to give. And we wake up this morning and something happens. They are far from done with what they need to do, because there's a lot of ugly within this dressing room. But it's a start. This is where you start, because the guy was nothing but a clown, nothing but a headache. Don't wish him any sort of, I don't care. I'll say it. For how much he has pissed me off and screwed this team over, do not care if he fails wherever he goes. Do not care. The guy's a joke of a captain. The guy's a complete clown. And, man, good luck for whatever team has to deal with him next. Good luck. Because the guy whined his way out of Winnipeg. The guy was a whiner here. And I can't wait for him to be gone. Man, this makes me so happy. And we're hearing the player quotes about how they're not happy, this and that. Well, I could tell you right now, I don't expect you to be happy, but the good news is, and I don't know if you realize this, and this is where I worry, because I know this isn't going to solve issues with the locker room, but I mean, first of all, it should. It's put up or shut up right now with the locker room. And the locker room's as fractured as it is. You got to try something. But all I know is that you could be friends with players that aren't on your team. And I'm tired of hearing about the Barkley Goudreau thing of, oh, they're still upset about Barkley Goudreau. Really? If that's the case, they're upset to the point where Keandre Miller's representative is Barkley Goudreau's agent, and he comes out and says, yeah, we're not going to take a team-friendly deal with the Rangers. If that's the case, Miller, see you later, buddy. Because we got a roster to take care of. We got business to do. We're trying to win here, or at least maybe rebuild, retool, which that's the direction I'm hoping they're going in. We got shit to do. He could kick rocks if it's that much of an issue. If a fourth liner who was providing nothing for the team outside of a locker room presence, making $3.6 million, if that guy getting moved broke the locker room, then a lot of guys need to go. A lot of them have to go. It's been nothing but a boys' club here. Nothing but friendship bracelets and going out there collecting paychecks. It's time to get down to business at some point. And this is where you start. And I did not think it was going to happen, man. I really did not think it was going to happen. I thought that Jacob Trouba was going to be here for the year and we were going to have to deal with this. It happened, man. It really happened. And I'm so tired of hearing about how, oh, well, the Rangers, how could they do this? Why are they being so cutthroat? I have a couple things to say that. One, they gave Trouba the chance out of the summer to stay around and prove himself. He didn't. Two, what do you want them to do? They have lost 6 of their last 7, barely beating Montreal. 4 cups in 100 years. What did you want them to do? Sit on their hands and do nothing? Something had to get done. What did you want them to do? And the other thing, Vegas did this. Why is it an issue now that the Rangers are doing it? And the other thing that's hilarious too is all these fan bases that are saying it and everything, and the media, by the way, acting like we're getting rid of Mark Messier or Wayne Gretzky. You would think this is Brian Leetch getting traded all over again with the way that the media is reacting to this. The guy provides nothing for the team. Give it a break. But either way, the fan bases, the same fans that clown the fact that Trouba's shit at the sport and that clown him for being a dirty player, this and that. Now all of a sudden, oh, we feel bad for him. How could they do that? Stop acting like you're sorry for Trouba. You just want what's worse for the Rangers. Just stop. Stop pretending you care. I'm so happy right now. Nothing could ruin this unless literally the only thing that could ruin this is if he goes down to Hartford and is still in the organization. You have to have him go entirely. He cannot be here even if it's Hartford. Nope, he can't. Because I don't want the stench of him in this organization anywhere. Because that's not going to do you any favors. If anything, it's going to hurt because knowing this team, they'll just call him back on up at some point. You know what? He was down Hartford for a bit. Let's give him another chance. Let me see what you guys are saying, though, in the chat. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe and all that other stuff. I'm very interested to see what goes down here with this entire scenario. I can't believe it, though. I really can't believe it. Yeah, he had to go. Would rather bring up someone from Hartford? Yeah. Thank you, T. Rich. This means something, man. This means something. I'm so happy right now. You should stay until 2 p.m. since that's the latest. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that. As much as I would love to stay until 2 p.m., I cannot be doing that. Because if he goes on waivers, then whatever. Hopefully, a team claims him. And if he doesn't and he gets traded, great. I mean, the outcome's great either way, unless he goes down to Hartford. So honestly, there's no point in really staying live until 2, because if something happens, we'll know more by tomorrow, because it's either he gets traded before the game, and if that's the case, I will fire up a live stream again, or it's either he goes on waivers and then gets claimed tomorrow, which again, I'll go live for that, and barring Juan Soto signing tomorrow, and I have to do a live stream for that, because that will be priority number 1, to be honest with you, if Juan Soto, especially if he signs with the Mets. I mean, are you kidding me? But where are the chances this doesn't happen and he stays? I have no clue. But if he does stay, that would suck. Every time I hear this podcast, I feel like I'm in church. Preach, preach, preach. I appreciate that. If you want to stay close to New York, maybe the Islanders would like him. Buffalo. Take a 40-minute plane ride back. Molly Walker regarding reports that Mika Zibanejad on the trade block. The Swedish center has not waived his no trade clause or no move clause to Post's learn. Well, that doesn't surprise me. If they go in a rebuild or retool direction, I'm sure he will. And if that's the case, see ya. Yep. Second, he got $8 million going downhill. What's my opinion on where he accepts to go if he does? Obviously, this is going to detriment what space we have and what future moves can be made. Looks like we'll know by 2 p.m. I don't know. I mean, Buffalo, Detroit, and Ottawa are the teams that are apparently interested. I could see him in Buffalo. I really could. But quite frankly, again, I really do not care where he goes. As long as he is off this team, I'm at a point where go wherever. Captain Picasso. Finally gone, potentially. I'm waiting. I'm waiting a bit before celebrating entirely. I agree with this. However, Drury deserves still a lot of blame for not doing this over the summer. What am I going to do if they lose to Pittsburgh tonight? It is what it is. Then, again, it just shows that this locker room cannot handle any sort of adversity or accountability. And it is what it is. I expect them to lose, honestly, because Pittsburgh's red hot right now, and this team, all they do is sulk when something doesn't go their way. Jacob Trouba is now the latest example, and if they lose, oh well. But I'm going to sleep. I'm going to rest my head on the pillow at night, knowing Jacob Trouba is not on the team, knowing that changes might actually happen. This is a cause for celebration. This really is. I cannot believe how many people are feeling sorry for this guy. I really can't believe it. The fact that he got his way this summer and people still feel sorry. Come on. The Ranger, like Steve Gelb said, he used his leverage during the summer. The Rangers are slapping it right back at him, using what they have as their tools and their leverage against him. It's fair game. Nobody should wear the C, in my opinion, right now. I would not give anyone the captaincy. No one deserves it. Honestly, if it were up to me, nobody would wear a letter on this team right now. If that were up to me. Who feels sorry for him? The media, who's acting like he, what's it called? That's acting like they're trading Mark Messier right now. And other fan bases, for some reason, feel sorry for Trouba right now. Which, again, they clown the guy nonstop, but now we feel bad for him. Okay. Yeah, no one should be given the C. Nobody. Nobody should wear a letter. Check DMs. Let me check. All right, sorry. I just had to answer that. But I answered you on that one, Zook. If we don't win tonight, if the Rangers don't win tonight, they're cooked. More cooked than they already are. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. More cooked than they're already cooked to begin with. That's why I'm at the point where try something. If it doesn't work, okay. All right. It didn't work. But you try something. Have to. You can't just keep rolling this out. You have to try something. And again, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if anything, it's almost better that it doesn't work, because then you get some of these guys that need to go out of here quicker. Yeah, the Rangers have been cooked. You're just going from charred to ash. Pittsburgh's hot right now. Yeah. No doubt. And I do think Pittsburgh's probably going to win tonight. But again, that might change things for the better. You're going to the game tonight? That's going to be interesting, man. Going to the game tonight's going to be very, very interesting. You guys are saying Rangers by 1 million tonight? I don't know about all that. I don't know if I could get behind that, because we've seen any sort of accountability thrown their way and they still don't respond to it. And I get that Jacob Trouba being out of the lineup does help them, but again, I don't know. I just think personally that this team's already like so cooked and the locker room's so broken that I don't know. I just think Pittsburgh's. I think Pittsburgh's gonna win tonight. Hopefully not one. Hopefully not one. Chad takes his place. It's looking like Mancini's going to be the guy called up. I'm not sure if he's taking his place or not, but I'm assuming he is. If Mancini's called up, he's probably taking his place because I don't see a reason why they would have him sit in the press box. People saying this is the Rangers' downfall on Twitter. I'm smiling ear to ear right now. Like, come on. Higgins to the Rangers, I'm delusional, maybe. That'd be cool, though. Him and Gabe playing together. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Um, let's see what else there is. Brady to New York. There's no, I don't know if there's no way a Trouba move would do that. Oh, that's why you said it. I just saw it now. That's what my reaction was about. Now it makes sense. So the Rangers are targeting Brady Tkachuk. I want to read this article badly. Hold up now. Hold up. This just got very... The Rangers for the first time, man, in such a long time are giving me a reason to smile. Oh, I forgot you have to pay for the articles now. Man. Could try it for free. I might just do it. I might just do it right now. How much is it after that, though? I mean, you get a 30-day free trial. $4.99 a month. Fuck it. Fuck it. I could always cancel that one. I'm just going for it. If it lets me. Why'd I get an error? I just paid for it, I thought. Post Plus pisses you off, yeah. But they got me. You gotta give them credit. They just got me. It's where I'm about to pay for it if it works. If it lets me. Here we go. Now I think it worked. I want to read this. I'm very intrigued. Took me off the article. What are we doing? Here we go. Think it's gonna work now. Watch is just like a nothing burger and I just paid for nothing. I really think I did pay for no. What are we doing? Here. Please work. Please just work. There we go. All right. Finally, we're in. So let's see. This Larry Brooks article. Where's the Brady Tkachuk stuff? Where is the Tkachuk stuff? Here we go. I think. It literally is nothing, though. A trade for the Senators' 25-year-old hard scramble captain would immediately change the blue shirt's identity. The package going the other way would obviously have to be significant and could very well include Alexis Lafreniere. And that's really all we got with that. He got me. He fucking got me. Where's my subscription so I could cancel it now? Where's my subscription? Man. So, a nothing burger. All right, there we go. At least I have the subscription for a bit. Yeah, Brooksy took the money and ran. All right, good for him. Good for him. He got me. You never know, yeah. Hey, I'm getting the money back for what I just spent. Thank you, Ken S. Blow it all up. No chance to win a cup. Drury sucks. I agree with everything you're saying. But I'll tell you right now, Chris Drury, if he finds a way to get Brady Tkachuk, I would forgive him a bit, at least. I at least would... I would apologize a bit, at least. At least they're trying to fucking get him, potentially. I can tell you right now, do not care what the Rangers give up to get him. Would not care for a second what they would give up. There is nobody off the table. Even if Laffy was included in the trade, I would do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I would do it. I don't know, man. Man. Because I could tell you right now, as much as I love Lafreniere, as much as Lafreniere could be a huge piece for this team, it's Brady Tkachuk, man. It's Brady Tkachuk. Like, the guy is a proven elite talent. I want to, like... Man. The rabbit hole that we are about to go down. I just personally am tired. This is what Matt's saying. I'm just tired of missing out on the top guys. I'm really tired of missing out on the top guys. Kakko and Laff don't even have close to equal value. If they did, then yeah, Kakko I would easily move before Lafreniere. But that's not the case. Guys, we are talking about a player that he's over a point per game with the Ottawa Senators right now. With the Senators. The guy constantly puts up productive 5v5 seasons. And I know Lafreniere, people are going to point to Lafreniere doing that. And again, I'm not saying that Lafreniere is the ideal choice of who to move out. Because to me, Lafreniere, I would want to move Gabe before him. I would want to move Offman before him. Any of those other guys. But I could tell you right now, if it were to cost Alexis Lafreniere, I would not say... I wouldn't be that mad. Tkachuk provides a culture change. And that's the biggest thing for me, too. He provides this team with a new identity. And the way that I would compare this, if they were to do it, and I think this is a great way to compare it. There are one of two comparables you could do. You could compare this to either Knicks trade. It's either the RJ Barrett trade, or it's the, and obviously he's a minus 57. He's on the Ottawa Senators, who lose every game. And you have to look at the individual seasons. Minus 10, 2022-23. Here, let's compare it to his fellow peers on that Ottawa Senators team. Let's compare it. If I could pull it up. 2022-23, where he was a minus 10. Let's see where he was. You got a minus 35, Drake Batherson. Minus 31, Alex DeBrincat. Minus 21, Shane Pinto. Minus 11, Thomas Chabot. There were very few players who had a positive plus minus with the Senators that season. Let's go to 2020, 2021, where a lot of guys were probably in the negative because Ottawa was a tire fire that year. Minus 18, Tim Stützle. Would you take Tim Stützle on the Rangers? I sure as hell would. Drake Batherson, minus 17. Brady Tkachuk also minus 17. You get the point. Context matters with that. I would move anyone on this roster for Brady Tkachuk. You're talking about a guy that would come in here and change the culture. He could wear the captaincy. And this team has fumbled stars way too many times. Everybody, please. And I get that we love our guys. I get that we love Lafreniere. Take off the Ranger goggles. This is what got the Rangers to not acquire Matthew Tkachuk when he was available and said he would go to the Rangers. They didn't acquire Jack Eichel. Didn't acquire Jake Gensel at the deadline last year because we're so in love with our guys. And again, you could love Lafreniere and still be okay with them moving him for Brady Tkachuk. Both things could be true. We are talking about a premier, proven 25-year-old talent who has not hit his prime, who has been stuck in Ottawa nonetheless his entire career. Put him on a better team. I'm telling you right now, you are going to see a difference. I would do it. I would do it, man. I'm sorry. I'm just tired of losing out. And again, look at the OG Anunoby trade or the Karl Anthony Towns trade as either comparables. I think the better comparable is probably the Towns trade, just because of the fact that Randall and Towns kind of had similar trajectory, similar numbers, if you will, a little bit. I would compare it mostly to that because you're talking about Randall, who everyone thought was comparable to Cat, with Dante DiVincenzo, who everybody freaking loved. And then some picks and some role players. And then you get Brady Tkachuk, who, again, is getting held back from the team he's on, in my opinion. I think that he would be easily a 90 to 100 point player on a better team. That's my opinion. And again, it would suck to lose Lafreniere. And I want to make it clear, Lafreniere is one of the guys that I would want to move the least out of anyone on this team. And believe me when I say that. But there's also something to be said about the fact that this is Brady Tkachuk we're talking about. You have to give to get. And if it costs Lafreniere, it costs Lafreniere. You do it. I'm sorry. And if we're going to talk about plus minus, Lafreniere's a minus 11 this year. Lafreniere does not play well in the D zone at all. He is a non-factor in the D zone. And again, I like Lafreniere, but it's the truth. He is not good. I mean, how many times is the play happening in the D zone, you don't see him on the screen? And Brady Tkachuk is still a plus defender when you look at the advanced metrics. I'm going to pull up his card right now, and I can tell you, if you don't want this guy on your team and you're not willing to give up whatever it takes to get him, you are off your fucking rocker. You just simply are. Here. Let me get the card up now. Let it load. Here we go. Like, come on. Come on. Tell me right fucking now. Tell me now. You would not take this on your team. And this is on Ottawa, nonetheless. Come on. What are we talking about? The guy is an elite player. You can't tell me you wouldn't move mountains to get him. I'm sorry. Let me get back to the chat. And listen, I don't know if it would actually cost Lafreniere, but I'm just saying, again, my preference isn't to trade Lafreniere. My preference is to ideally, honestly, play the two of them together potentially. But if it did cost Lafreniere, if Lafreniere had to go the other way, if that was the end-all be-all for Ottawa, if Lafreniere surrounds the package as the main piece with some picks and maybe like a mid-lower end prospect, if that's the package, I can't complain. I can't complain. Because at the end of the day, as I stutter there, at the end of the day, you have to try something different. You have to shake up this locker room. You have to make a culture change. Larry Brooks reported that the Rangers are trying to acquire, they're interested in acquiring Brady Tkachuk. I hope Drury has learned his lesson, though. And I'm actually going to tweet about this right now. I really need to tweet about this. Well, let's see what you guys are saying. Sorry, I got distracted there. I wanted to put that tweet out. He makes stuff up just for the paper. Then why? There has to be some sort of substance to this. If it was worded, I think the Rangers should get Brady Tkachuk. That's one thing. Then that's just Larry Brooks giving an idea. But he worded it, the Rangers are targeting Tkachuk in trade talks. That tells me that they are actually going to make an effort to get him. And again, nothing's off the table. Why would Ottawa do this? Because there's a price for everyone. If the Rangers truly did come forward and offer, let's say, Lafreniere, Miller, another lower end prospect, if you will, like a Bryce McConnell Barker, let's just say, a first and like a third, you're telling me Ottawa is going to have a hard time not at least thinking about that? That, like, no. There's no way. There is a price for everyone. The only player in the NHL there is not a price for is Connor McDavid. And even then, maybe there is. Maybe if you offer 10 first round picks for the future and like your your 3, 4, 5 best players, maybe there's a world Connor McDavid's available. Maybe. There's a price for everyone. And Brady might want out. I don't know that, but if Gretzky could get traded, anything is possible. And again, I'm not saying it will happen. I want to make it very clear. I am not saying it will happen. But I am saying nothing should be left off the table. Nothing. Would you trade Kachuk off your team? Again, it depends on the situation. It depends on the package. What package would you be getting? I would not be opposed to if the Rangers say, so you're saying Lafreniere has all this value. If, say the tables were turned and Lafreniere was available and Ottawa offered, here, let's pull up their roster right now and come up with a comparable that I just did with trading for Kachuk. Say Ottawa really wanted Lafreniere and it was the other way around. And they offered, it's hard to think of a comparable. Okay, let's say Jake Sanderson is your comparable. Let's say they offered Jake Sanderson and then for a forward, let's say Shane Pinto, a first round pick and a third, and then maybe a lower end prospect there too. I'm not saying no. I would trade Lafreniere at that point. Personally. Sorry. If, say that's the scenario. And again, I am not saying that I would ideally move Lafreniere. Because my preference is to not. But if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Laugh over Perot in a Kachuk trade? No, I would move. I would definitely move Perot before Laugh. Sorry. Just got distracted because Joey's texting me because he thinks this Larry Brooks thing is for clicks because Darren Drager said that that the Rangers and Sens aren't talking. That could be about Trouba, but we have to remember Elliot Friedman went on NHL Network a couple days ago and said the Rangers and Sens have been talking. I want to see if there's more about this, though. I don't know, because Bruce Garrett now is saying, and he's close to the Senators, so that does mean a little something. That means a bit more. He's saying that there's nothing about the Kachuk thing, so again, maybe it's not true. Maybe it's not. And if Larry Brooks did it for clicks, good for him. Again, I didn't say it was going to happen. I said that if the Rangers are actually interested in Brady Tkachuk, then nothing's off the table. I didn't say it was going to happen. I said that the Rangers should be targeting him and give up the kitchen sink and more to get him. But I didn't say it was going to happen. Would I trade Igor for Andrei Svechnikov? I don't know about that one. All right. I think that that's really all there is to talk about. Again, if there might not be, I want to make it clear one more time before I go. I am not claiming that Brady Tkachuk is going to be a Ranger. I am not claiming that he is even on the table. But if he is to become available, then the Rangers should be doing everything in their power to get him. Should be doing everything possible to get him. Nothing's off limits. And again, I am not saying it will happen. I'm saying if they're going to, that's what should happen. That's going to be it for me. We'll talk more about everything about Jacob Trouba, seeing where that goes. By 2 p.m., he could be on waivers, so that's going to be interesting if that's the case. And if not, then he gets traded, and we'll be here to talk about it. If it's a trade, if it's waivers, I'm not going to go live for it until tomorrow when we know what team. So again, once we know, I will update you guys. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.